And welcome back to 2.5 Daz with me, Stephen Youngson, Ryan McCready, and Al Thompson.
Hello.
Might as well talk for half the tap of the gig. Might as well talk about it half the tap of this episode rather than waiting to the end. That we've got a gig.
Aye.
Aye, we're at the International Comedy Festival in Glasgow this year, 17th of March, Sunday, 2:15 p.m. at Van Winkle's West End. Tickets are available now. Come and see us talk about being a da.
2.5 Daz, it's called.
Talking some shit.
Similar. Quite similar to what this is called as well, isn't it?
Aye.
Quite similar.
It's almost like there's a brand.
Aye.
in there,
So
kinda-
that was a food meant it.
That's our best attempt at branding kind of thing.
Aye, it's better to do it for the start because folk usually turn off
know.
about 40
Aye,
minutes in.
that's what I thought.
Especially after the last one.
However long that lasted.
Aye.
So this week we're kind of like, we've just got some stories to tell, innit? A wee kind of recap of last year.
Last year, yeah.
We're in the new year. Happy New Year to all
Happy
you.
New Year,
Happy
folks.
New Year,
Aye.
troops.
Should have probably said that in the last one. That would have been an idea, wouldn't it?
Splice that in. Put
Splice
your,
that
put
in.
your jumpers back on.
Behind we peek behind the curtain.
Aye.
Before we continue, I've got a story to tell you.
Right,
Sorry.
you've been bigging this story up.
So, right, my life could be in danger when I tell this, so maybe cut it out. My brother used to go to a strongman gym. Like he competed in Scotland's Strongest Men. I think he finished like 7th. His first ever one. But he left that gym because it was a bit fucking crazy. The guy that runs it's a bit aye. And but his pal still goes to it, and his pal was in the gym with the guy that owns it, and they've got these things. I don't know, but it's like caber toss, except
Aye.
it's no, but it's like they're attached to the ground. You just pick it up to your shoulder, pick it up, and then flip it over.
All right.
Then run to the other side, and it's
Oh,
this part.
aye. It's on a hinge in it, and
And it's just like how many rotations you can get within a certain amount of time.
Right.
So this guy who owns the gym had just got it installed like the day before and was trying it out and forgot he brought his dog to the gym
Oh, no.
No.
and he's flipped it over and obliterated his dog.
What? Surely you would check the fucking vicinity. Surely when you've hoisted it up, you go, some cunt move that fucking dog.
He must have been in the zone and his dog's...
We dogs could move about. I said, anyway as well, couldn't they? They could run a
There's that wee doggers get.
So we-
fuck's sake.
Aye,
And here's with me thinking we're going to have a nice light-hearted
I know.
episode after last week's.
Oh,
I've got another story for later as well. Remind me to
Is it
tell you
an eye
that.
bleach one? Can we have one? Can we
we
have
just
that
get them
right
out the road.
Right, we'll tell my other one then.
Aye,
Aye.
aye.
Right, okay. So the other day, me and Gail and a lot of my pals were in the pub, and it was a free jukebox night, so it was fucking brilliant.
Aye.
So Gail was up at the jukebox and like picking songs, and like an older guy come up behind her. I says, like, I don't know what. Gail's my wife, by the way. He's like, oh, I don't know how to use this machine. Hen, can you help me? So she put on, what did I ask for? Islands in the Stream. So I put Islands in the Stream on and went and sat down. And then Islands in the Stream come on a couple of minutes later, and the old guy came in and was like, oh, thanks for putting that on for me. And he's like, right, come on, we'll go up and dance. And she got up and danced with him. And he went and sat down and collapsed. And the full pub got evacuated.
What the fuck?
And she didn't realise that the guy had already managed to put Islands in the Stream on himself. So he had collapsed, and Islands in the Stream was
Oh my God.
so he had collapsed.
Mind when we were talking about this, and we're like, a comedy podcast.
Like,
He's alright, but apparently he's got a massive chopper. And
Oh, for fuck's sake.
my dad says the reason that he collapsed is because all the blood went to his dick rather than his head.
fuck's sake.
For fucking hell.
But I was thinking about this because I mean, there's a very good chance it's going to happen to me soon. And like, if I felt as if I was going to have a heart attack, the worst thing that I could do would be to stone in a room amongst folk. I'd want to like disappear where I'm myself and just black it. It's so embarrassing.
What, like a cat that knows when it's got to die goes away and finds its own wee bit
Like
and
elephant
dies?
graveyard, type thing. So like, just go out the road because see if like that guy fell and it's like, oh fuck, he's an old guy and all that. See if I fell, folk be like, yeah. And I mean, you get no sympathy. It's like, well, maybe if you weren't such a she was shouting at me. So it's just too embarrassing. And then
Too embarrassing to take a heart attack.
aye, and then folk come in
Pure
with
cringe into taking a heart
aye,
attack.
and folk,
Imagine taking a heart attack in the pub, man.
then folk will come in with like a gurney and stuff, and they'll take about 18 folk to put me on the thing. No chance. I'm getting into a cupboard.
12 pallbearers.
Just you're talking about jukeboxes with 12 pallbearers.
We could get the folk in for the strongman gym.
You're talking back, is that you back to wrestling? Talking about pallbearers in there with wee arm and then Al will just go.
Sits up.
No, talking about jukeboxes kind of thing, like the pub that I usually go to. It was for all its days, it was a bit of a metal pub, right? A bit of a rockers pub. All its days, kind of. It's kind of changed a wee bit now. It still has music and stuff like that in it, but the jukebox still has some serious amounts of heavy metal on it, right? So sometimes you can walk in now. It's all been done up, so it's the place that people go before they go the train to get into the tune, right? So they go there for a few pints and all that day because it's on the way back out or the way back in. It's a good spot for it, right? So there's quite an eclectic choice of music. But whenever I go in, a pound gets you 7 songs, and I pick the heaviest metal tunes, right? So one, just you're saying Islands in the Stream, we were in there just before Christmas, and it was all this laddie da kind of music that was going on, and then I put on Meshuggah, like Cannibal Corpse and stuff like that, and you can see people having a conversation, and then their eyes just kind of glaze, you know what I mean? They're smiling as it's going tappy their jovial conversation they were having
7
before.
songs for £1. That's some fucking deal, that, by the way.
Mate, just when you're talking about free jukebox nights, we thought it was a free jukebox because I went up and I put money in and there was so many credits on it, you know what I mean? There's rattling hundreds
Sometimes
of songs
they
on
just
it.
hold it up.
I think some people, what we noticed, we were thinking if you put one in, it was just giving you one back. So we're like, songs after songs after songs on it. And I think what people were doing were putting £1 in, thinking they only got one tune and sitting back down. We'd loaded the place with all the heaviest metal tunes. It was a
Fucking
And speaking of that, you're looking forward to your first metal
Aye.
gig?
My first metal gig was at Napalm Death.
Napalm Death and Pig Destroyer.
Pig Destroyer.
Worm Rot, is it?
Aye,
I can't remember the name of the other band.
Aye.
These
What,
names-
like,
I'm excited because I've not been to many concerts in my time.
Aye, you've only know 4 bands, is it?
Aye. I
Aye.
don't know many fucking music people. What do you call them? Artists.
musicians.
Musicians. And I don't I'm not a big music guy, so I'm quite excited. It's a new experience. I like experiencing new things, and you two are obviously dead passionate about it, and I love how passionate you are about it. I've learned a wee bit and that for you, but I'm excited.
Whereabouts is this one?
The QMU.
Is it a QMU?
There's a QM.
Yes. It's Glasgow Uni's union.
Oh, right.
Aye, which sounds like it's going to be laddie
Is that
da,
free
but
bevy?
it's-
No, cheap bevy.
decent. Should be decent.
Aye.
I've seen a good
should-
few. You seen bands in there before?
I've seen, I'll tell you who I saw. Clearance Creedwater Revival.
Yes.
But I thought I was going to say Creedence Clearwater Revival, and they fucking made an arse of me.
Is that not what you just said?
No, Clearance Creedwater Revival.
Oh, so
It was
it's
a fucking
tribute?
band. And we were all standing in the queue, and then everybody was reading their tickets like, oh, fuck's sake. Everybody thought they were going to see the real CCR. It's like, oh, well, it still is CCR, they kept
QMU.
saying. Aye. I thought, how am I getting this for £17? And then the guy came out and I'm like, that's no John Fogerty at all.
I've got a couple of stories about the QMU. I went to see, we went, Arch Enemy was the band that was playing it, right? But Strapping Young Lad were supporting them, Devin Townsend's band. Now, this sounds really mental, right? This is like Strapping Young Lad are one of the heaviest metal bands around at the time. They were supporting in Throwdown, right? So my mate was a massive Devin Townsend fan, like massive. Strapping Young Lad's his favourite band. So he was a music producer. We were at uni doing music. So he took a CD, his music, and he tried to throw it on the stage. You know, you've always heard the story. That's how Korn found Limp Bizkit were found, because they gave a tape to Korn, and it was the same Puddle of Mud did the same to Limp Bizkit kind of thing. So he was obviously thinking, this is my moment, and tried to throw a CD at him, and Devin Townsend was raging. He's like, who the fuck threw that? And he was like, you motherfucker, and he was going mental. No, this about him and saying like, hey, I'm going to play this next song. If you find that guy in the pit, beat him up and all this. And my pal was pissed, and he started laughing. He's like, this is actually better than I'm listening to my music.
Devin Townsend is phenomenal.
Great singer.
There's a video on YouTube, Devin Townsend doing Kingdom, and it's just him with a guitar. It's fucking
It's an amazing guitarist,
Downstate
amazing
Kingdom.
vocalist. He used to sing for Steve.
Kingdom
Aye.
by Downstate.
Devin Townsend.
Aye, but the original song Kingdom. But
That's the song name.
Aye,
This is going to be brutal at this gig, by the way.
I know. But I know Kingdom by Downstate.
Well, Kingdom's a fucking very normal word.
I was just asking if it was the same song.
No, because no. Stop shouting. I don't know what you're talking about. Stop
shouting at me.
Downstate.
But also, like, my only...
Adrenaline in my soul. Something Cody Roads.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Come on, you fuck.
Right, okay.
Well, we're not taking you to a karaoke gig. That's
No.
all right. You doesn't need to sing along at the death metal gig. Just go. You'll be all right. You can.
Because there is
a fight out of control. Do it all again. Ah, fuck no.
We'll take the word for it. There's there is a Napalm Death song that you can learn pretty quickly. Is it called?
Is that the
Is
one
it you
second one
you
of it?
suffer or I suffer?
Is that why it just goes like?
Yeah, it just stops. So you know
It's like
one
3
song.
seconds
Time at
long.
best.
I think they didn't one. Did they not have the world record for that for the world's shortest song or something at one point? I'm pretty sure they did. Maybe somebody done
Listen,
a short
I
one.
think 3 seconds is a very long time, and I think it should be commended.
But QMU is the only time I've ever had a broken bone as well.
Aye.
Right? Went to back in my day. I used to like a drink. Obviously, I'm sober now, kind of thing. But I used to get follow the drink, right? So we were going to see Anti-Flag, which is a band that you
nice.
don't want to talk about anymore. For the guy has just been outed as a bit of a pest.
Oh, that's no
right?
nice.
But back in the day, nobody knew that kind of thing. Anti-Flag was the band we went to go and see, and I got my nose broke in the circle pit. Right?
Ah, nice.
So it's cause I had all the drink in me, I never felt a thing, right? So like a guy was obviously running. We're running a circle pit, right? If you don't know what that is, you're running a big circle, right? A guy was windmilling. Right, my nose just erupted, man. I just had to go to the fucking medical room and all that, and they put like a big tampon under my nose, and strapped it on the back of my head, and I had to go to the fucking hospital. I missed the whole gig.
Oh, no
I
way.
seen like 2 songs or something like that. But I was going to see them in Amsterdam like a couple of months later. Me and my pals were going to see No Effects because they never played Scotland because they had a bit of bad experience one time in the country, and so we were going to Amsterdam to see them, and they were playing 2 days later. So I still got to see them on the tour.
Aye.
But that's mad stories of the QMU.
Fucking hell. Brutal.
I've never been injured in a pit, I don't think.
You know, no.
No.
No,
I
but
mean,
I'm
I've
not-
only been in 1 or 2. Did one at Rage Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine at T in the Park. And, like, I jumped, and I'm not kidding on. I jumped to where somebody said.
What, somebody push you for the back?
No, I was vertical leap. Jumped to where somebody said.
How?
See the way you still look at me. It's the way everybody looked at me when
No,
I
but
tell
I'm
this
trying to
story.
figure out how this
No,
happens.
I can kind of understand
Just
it. 'cause
pure
I was-
adrenaline.
Oh, just
Aye.
just like pure jump. I
Aye.
didn't know if you mean like like there was a big swell or something. Somebody fell down. You jumped to. I didn't know
Oh
what you
right,
mean.
no.
Aye.
We were both standing, and I done a Michael Jordan jump.
Wow.
I mean, it probably didn't happen. I'm not gonna lie. See, when I think back to it, it probably didn't happen. But in my head, I jumped to the guy's head.
Jump knee height at best.
Aye, probably. Aye.
Like I remember at a gig I went to see Machine Head in would have been the Carlin Academy at the time. It was when the Blackening had just came out. You know that the best album. Again,
a
you learn
fucking
this
album.
stuff, right?
Aye.
Right. There was a big the circle pit. Everybody kind of hanged out. You know what I mean? Because like the big bit was coming in the tune. I
Wall
can't
of Death.
remember. But I wasn't even going to be a wall of death at that point. But I was still running, doing big strides, and as I strode round the corner, somebody pushed me up the way, and I just remember tumbling through the sky like that, clouted into like these people, and just had to keep running. So I was like a cannonball, man.
That sounds to me like exercise. Gig, man.
I know this is less
Oh, that's
believable.
running
than
about
Well,
and
there was,
fucking
again,
punching.
I was at one in the ABC, and there was a circle pit so big there was a crowd in the middle of the pit. You know what I mean? Like the thing was whipping that far that people who weren't there to see the support band and were kind were just stood in the middle as this pit whapped from the outside of them. Man.
I went to see Ministry, and there was it was in the garage, so it was quite wee. And there was
I don't like this.
there was a support band on, and fuck it.
Just
And look, there's a lot of folk in there that hadn't been to gigs before and stuff, and they were like quite young and quite
Naive?
no right.
No, right?
Can you say that?
I don't know what you're meaning. Well, they're just a bit. getting the etiquette
like,
of the
like,
gig.
I think it's more like lockdown done it as well. Like people
Right.
just going out and no knowing how to act and stuff like
Right,
that.
okay.
And no joke, there was folk in the pit doing that thing for the In-Betweeners movie.
What's that? What do you mean? Like,
The
oh man,
And they weren't like
oh, they're
doing-
ready to pit.
Aye, pretty much. And it was just watching folk going out without having been out and
was a
learned
mad
shit.
time.
It was an experience.
Odd people watching kind of thing.
Aye.
'Cause, rather than just having the new 18-year-olds, you had 18, 19, 20-year-olds.
Aye.
They didn't know how to act when they were out. So it was an abundance and it was crazy. Like I remember having out just as we came out of lockdown, man. It was just carnage, but it wasn't like carnage in a normal night out where it was just folk are drunk. It was just fuck's you. What's
Aye, what's he doing?
What
Aye.
the fuck? What's going on here? And it was just strange.
And it's spatial awareness as well, I think.
Aye.
Aye.
Special
Aye.
awareness is gone, isn't it? Like
Aye.
these days, man, like folk are just walking. I was at the swimming the day with the Waynes at a time capsule, and the amount of times I had to just dodge out the way of folk because I just don't. I think it's maybe because they walk around the streets like this all the time. They've no spatial awareness, people, man. Like they're
I'm
trying to
bad
plow
for
into me.
Do you think ADHD's on the rise because of phones, or do you
Oh.
think it's just?
I
Does
don't
that
know.
cause it?
I don't
So
think.
my research
Does it
into
cause it?
ADHD, because I done a lot when me and my wee broad got diagnosed. So it's genetic. It's a genetic fault,
Aye.
and it stems from thousands of years ago when we were fucking cavemen. It's like you're programmed to keep your head in a swivel and what's that there? What's that there? What's
Right.
that there? So it's very much that.
Inherent memory of that, as you
Aye.
call it, kind of thing, right?
Whereas a lot of people through the fucking thousands of years have kind of had that bred out of them.
Uh-huh.
There's a few that seem to have been forgot. So
So is it something then that can get like kind of accentuated? Like if you're predisposed to be that sort of head in a swivel as you're putting
Aye.
it kind of thing, you're like,
my head's constantly like that. See when I'm out and about, but it's like, I'm constantly looking about me. And I don't know if that's just because maybe I'm fey, but
come forward, naked.
it's like looking for all the wee bastards of the day. But I don't know. It just seems to be, and the neurons in your brain. Everybody thinks that you're too fast. You're actually too slow.
Aye.
The neurons in your brain don't fire fast enough. That's how the medication's basically speed. So
Aye.
it speeds your brain up.
I remember
So
talking
you
to
can
people
focus.
about it, and it's mental. When I remember when I found out about that, it was a kid that I worked with, and they said that they were on a huge dose of it, and it was to speed them up, and they were the most placid wee dude. You were like,
Aye.
wow, he's like, you wouldn't
No, I
like
used
see
to
me
have
when I'm
problems
knowing
with the
it.
cocaine.
You know what I mean?
No, I used to be taking cocaine for hours and hours, and I'd just be sitting, all right, what's happening?
Because it's
And
so
folk
to
are
you.
like, oh, and I'm like, nah, no bother, what's happening? Look sober as fuck.
Straightened you out.
Aye.
That's what you're doing it, man.
I watched a guy take heroin before, and like, say you see people out there like that are, you think, oh, there's a junkie, and it's somebody like walking about like that, like that's them without it.
Aye.
Like I get the guy walked into his flat, and he was like that, shot up, and he was like us, now. It's absolutely fucking mental.
Nah, just like any other kind of like medicine. There's that
Aye.
kind of point.
Aye.
I think is like trying
If you're predisposed,
if you need it,
If you
basically,
need it, then-
because it is a need at that point,
Aye.
because I'm not able to function.
it was insane to watch happen. To him just going from like that to normal like that. It was crazy, man.
Wow.
2023 then, eh?
2024.
This is
is
meant to
it?
be a recap, but aye.
So I'm looking back in my
That's your
phone.
story. Well, I'll tell you, Matt. Wow, I was
Aye,
quite near
I
the
want to
end
know
of my-
about this deprivation
Right,
tank
aye,
because
so-
I'm talking
Oh,
about
aye, so you get cryogenically frozen. Right, continue.
I wish, man. It was like it was like, what do you call it? It was like Demolition Man. I could hear all my Waynes and not kind of among the, oh, Daddy, you're not. No, it's not. And you've seen Demolition Man? No.
No, you give me that, I'll give you kids.
You not seen Demolition Man either?
No.
Oh my god. Right. What? That's your homework.
fucking good teamwork,
It's a
bro.
belter. Right, no. Just when you're talking about cryogenically freezing, folk, that's the first film that came to mind. Anyway, no, I went and done the sensory deprivation tank.
Aye.
Kind of thing, like, so I've wanted to do a separate sensory deprivation tank for over 10 years, but I just never knew anywhere that done it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I first heard about them, it was back when it was the beginning of like, the Joe Rogan podcast. He
Aye.
was always talking about kind of doing them and all this, and how it's kind of like a what do you call it, hallucinogenic, and kind of like really relaxing. It really kind of centers your cell and makes you deal with a lot of issues and stuff, right? So see, before I went into the tank, I was up here, right? I was having a mental health problem. See that? It was my birthday, right? I was like on the rage, but that after just gone, you know what, see me more, I'm phoning the doctor. That kind of level of, right, you know what I mean? I was talking to my wife about it just before I was going out the door, because I'd booked it, she found out about it, right? And I was like, I'd love to do that, I've always wanted to. And there's one in East Kilbride now. I was like, I'm gone, right? And so it came at the right time, so you need to go and, it's like the water's the same kind of heat as your skin, right? And it's full of this salt, and it kind of basically
Holds you up.
You can't go into it. See, when I was in it, I tried to try and see how far you put your feet down,
Want a
and
bet?
they just come up. You know what I mean?
If they put me in it, I'd fucking...
But that's how the Dead Sea's the Dead Sea, because
Aye.
you can float in the top it because
Aye.
of the amount of salt content.
Aye. I mean, it's not deep water. Like I think the water might have only been about that deep.
Oh, right.
It's probably only deep enough so that you don't fucking touch the boat, mate. With like your arse basically. But I suppose it's you're floating up.
Barry
you know?
Keoghan could touch it with a boat with his shopper.
I would even float that.
Aye.
But
Obsessed.
but it's mental. It's like so right. So you're in there and all that, and you turn the light off, and it's like your mind starts to see things, right?
Aye.
Right. So like it was kind of trippy, right? So like as I was sitting there, I could try and there was a wee thin bit of light I could see coming
So
through.
you can't see none?
Can't see none. It's pitch black. So like I was like, if it was me, I would have had a wee like kind of thing to go around the lip, so that it kind of blocked the light out, kind of. But because the room's in darkness out there, kind of thing. But there must have been light coming in from under the door, so there was a wee thin blue bit of light I could see. But if I'd done that, I couldn't see it, right? So I screwed my eyes up, that just a wee bit, and it was darkness, and then till you get sorted, and then all of a sudden I noticed I wasn't thinking about anything. I wasn't thinking about where I was anywhere and all that, and I started seeing these mad lights. So like it was like mad geometric things. It would kind of come in for the side, and it would spin, and it would get into the middle, and then it would repeat. Right, and it would, and I was just like,
It's your brain trying to fill the blanks.
Aye, it was really, and then see, remember you talking about one time I was thinking you were seeing things coming out of the
Aye.
corner. Like it was at one point I was sitting there and I seen like a silhouette of a person come in like that and away, and then come in like that, and it repeats quite a few times. Like your brain's trying to like, but at that whole point, see all the things that I was worrying about and I was stressing about and stuff like that. I just came to like a sudden realization of I can only do as much as I can do, and any other these problems that are coming to me for other people and stuff like that, they just need to deal with these things themselves. I can't do anything about that. And I had this sudden realization of, things are all right. You know what I mean? Like really, really, like since I've hanged it, I've not been able to feel like I feel more centered about it. You know what I mean? Which is bizarre because I'm just sitting in a dark room, but you're
Just sitting in a dark room in a bath.
Aye. Like, but it is, and you have to go and they said you could wear trousers or no trousers, like swimming trunks. I just went in the buff. You know what I mean? To get the full, I was going for the full experience, like because there was a wee halo that put you round for your head to sit on, and I'm like, no, I don't like that. But then my head was too far in the water, so I just ended up putting that on because it cushioned you there, and you didn't notice. You've got earplugs in and stuff. Don't put your fingers in your eyes because the salt burn the fucking right out it, kind of salt burn. And but right, if you had any cuts of that, they give you wee packs of Vaseline to cover because it would nip the shit out it kind of thing of that. But I didn't need that. But like, so you need to like kind of watch me about that. But honestly, man, it was a full hour, just a, like complete silence, man.
I don't know if I'd get bored, but
yeah, I don't think you'd get bored because you would start. Your mind just starts to wander, and then that you've been. I remember.
All right, well that sounds ideal.
Like I remember, like again, like. When I was listening to Rogan years and years ago talking about it, they were like, you end up going through all the problems that you're having in life and you try and sort them all out, and then you just, you know what I mean, and that you just go through it all and you think about it and gives you that stillness to just kind of, you know what I mean, you're no able to think of anything else, so you come to a solution with it, you know what I mean. I really did feel like I came out the other end of that like a new man, basically.
Does it feel like an hour?
No, man, I because it's weird. There was some points at right where it's like. So I'm quite tall, right? But I was like, if I was much taller, I don't know if I'd have maybe been too big for that tank, right? Just because I felt like something as I was coming up, and I was just like touching the wall, but you're touching it a wee bit, and then your arm would touch a wee bit, and then you wouldn't be touching anything, and then after a couple of minutes, that was you. You were just away. You're just like, all these mad lights were happening, that, and you were having these mad, just like sorting your hand. It was really, really profound.
That sounds mental, man.
It does sound brilliant.
I was going to say if the three of us could date together, but it'd be like the three things of Minority Report, right there.
Coming out the Matrix at the end, kind of thing.
That sounds mental, man.
That is cracking. It really, really was worth it. You know what I mean? There's probably other places round about that maybe have different tanks and stuff like that and that too, but like it was just. It was meant that like it was so peaceful the whole place and all that. The wee one was like, sorry, what's it? And all that, but it was quite interesting.
Well, you ever
talking to
seen
them.
Kids?
Let me tell you a film about Gummo.
It was quite interesting talking to them though, because I was saying, it was like, she was like, did you manage to like have a good sex kind of thing? I don't know, I can't remember the words you said. What have you got? He said,
Did you manage to come?
no, man, that'd been
Would
so
you like the
weird.
happy ending?
I hope people haven't done that. I hope
So
that's
this is salty.
I hope that's why it's so fucking Barry a bit insick in the bathroom. Got away with it. And but no, it was like it was. But I think it was. I was saying, I was like, I noticed at one point that I wasn't noticing where I was anymore, and they were like, oh, I wondered how other people. Well, I was like, oh, I was wondering how other people. I've obviously been mega quiet in case you don't mess with anybody else's experience going about. You know what I mean? But it was mental. I would thoroughly
recommend it.
That's definitely something I'm going to look into. I think it would help a lot.
Aye.
You know what I mean? But I was thought I'd need to take DMT for some sort of profound thing.
Aye, it's like, I think it's a similar sort of experience without having to take a majorly hallucinogenic drug, you know what I mean?
But your brain has the capabilities of producing DMT and other hallucinogenics.
Aye.
Like, that's how people... Like, I don't know if you saw the video of the guy goes into the world's quietest room.
Mm-hmm.
Aye.
And he goes in the dark and he sees things move and hears things. And
It's the same kind of idea.
your brain fills in blanks and wants to see things. That's why you see faces and things and why you see things. And it's just filling in
Does
the
that not
blanks.
go back to that same thing you were talking about inherent memory, about ADHD and stuff like that? Like, that's the whole... The hunter-gatherer thing,
It's
or the
looking
protection,
for dangers.
looking for faces and clouds
predators.
and trees and stuff like that.
Aye, 100%. But my thing's another problem. I just see people where there isn't people. I see people. No, it's not quite like that. All the time. But it's that if it's dark or I'm sleep deprived, it's that I see genuine people walking down the street, and as I get closer, there's nothing there. No, even like a lamppost or something you can mistake. There's just generally nothing there.
And do you think that's linked to your ADHD?
I don't think so, because the research I've done in ADHD, there's no correlation. There's been never any mention of seeing things that aren't there, apart from like the faces and everything that most people have. But I don't know. I think my brain's just frazzled.
It sounds alright, mate. I wouldn't worry about it.
No, I don't. But it's always seekers, especially because I've got very bad eyesight. I always go. Is that some? No, it's not.
Do you actually thought, right, you just need to go to Specsavers? You know, you can go for the NHS.
Nothing even a
mistake for a person.
Mistake for something. It's generally just like I look up like a long alleyway and there's like light at the end, and then like you'll be there's somebody coming down it, and as you're walking through it and there's nobody there, and it's like there's nothing. You can see somebody walking. And then there's nothing.
Are actually seeing other dimensions, and you're seeing it in the past.
I don't think I'm special enough for that.
I fucking do. Your Minority Report, you could be one of the wee lassies, innit? Have you seen Minority Report?
No.
For fuck's sake, you laughed at it 3 times.
I know what it's about, but again, it's why the ones I haven't seen.
Why are you laughing?
I know what it's about. I know the premise. I know the idea.
The three lassies lying in a big pool. Aye.
And they can see the future and get people sent to the jail before they commit the crimes.
Aye. Right,
Like
okay.
person of interest. We should not.
No.
Personal interest.
Person of interest.
We need to start watching the same things.
I know.
Aye.
They built a supercomputer that can predict crimes and put people in jail for they've done it.
So that's basically bumping Minority
Aye,
Reports.
that's right. Philip K. Dick it is that wrote that. He also wrote Blade Runner, which is called...
Did you say Philip K. Dick?
Aye. Do androids dream of electric sheep, get turned into Blade Runner, and then Minority Report, there's hunters.
He also done the Man in the High Tower.
Aye, so he did.
Or Man in the High Castle.
Man in the High Castle and the Nazis one.
Aye. I read that book and then watched the TV show, and I don't remember the TV show or the book having half the things that happened in the TV show.
It's the same way of fun, but
But usually it's a book script more than the TV show.
The book was good though.
The TV shows are 2 series.
TV show was alright. Was there 5 seasons? I think.
Was it?
It was quite long.
I remember watching
quite a good
that
show.
for ages, but I never did.
I did watch
Same
it.
here. It was on my watch list.
Aye.
I think you can still get it, but won't it? But
Was it on Prime?
aye.
Aye.
I mean, it was quite good, but I think it's, and I know what I sound like why they book snobs, because I haven't really read that many books, but like I think I preferred the book. I think it was the shorter form. What was it? Scanner Darkly. That was another
Scanner
one he done.
Darkly.
That was a wild film. I've got that on DVD.
Aye, so va.
Aye.
So va.
It was like a film that they done, but they also done it like in cell shading. See, like kind of GameCube style graphics. That was like the overlay of the full thing. So it was filmed, but it was like overlaid. So it was all looked like it was kind of cartoony. But it was like Keanu Reeves and that was actually acting
Reeves
in it.
and Winona Ryder.
Aye, there was loads of
And
people
Robert
in
Downey Jr. So it's all massive actors, but because they were like Winona Ryder had just been done for shoplifting, nobody wanted to touch her. Robert Downey Jr. was
in the jail for drugs and all.
aye, so
it. And
nobody
I
wanted
think
to touch
Keanu
him.
Reeves
They were
hadn't been on the
fucking
scene for a
phenomenal.
while because he just went off for a bit.
Aye.
Didn't he?
Aye.
He just took time off,
Aye.
I bet. Oh, it's and Rory Cochrane as well. He's brilliant on
It
it.
was all sci-fi stuff. It was basically Black Mirror before Black Mirror. It's what Philip K. Dick was like, man.
Aye. I'd recommend Philip K. Dick to you.
Aye.
We're going to talk about 2023.
2023, aye. So like,
See, I was just looking back at my earliest gig, and it was that Dundee gig was my earliest gig in 2023. Wait a minute, have I?
do you write down your gigs? Do you have like a
No.
list of them on your phone?
I'm talking shit. I went back to 2022.
Because I've literally I'm quite techie with everything, right? See, when it comes to my work, I don't have a diary. I have everything computerised and stuff like that. I have all my notes computerised. It all links together so that I've always got access to them and stuff like that. Because otherwise, I would instead of sitting in a meeting and you're like trying to flick through a book and all that, and like I've got to that group, that blah blah blah. I'm not that with my comedy.
I'm the most disorganised cunt you'll ever meet.
I write it on the calendar on the wall.
Twice this year, I've been sitting in the house in my scants watching the telly, and I've got a text. You on your way, mate? Is that no next week? No.
I've only done
fucking
that.
murder
I've
for
only
it,
ever
and I hate it,
done
and
it
I want
once
to change
before. That the guy he'd sent me an email and it went to my junk. That's the only time I've ever done it. But my first gig this year was Girdy's. First time we met.
February
the 1st,
was I on that? No, I
No.
done the December one. I just came to watch that one.
No, I was on it with Connor Burns headlining it.
Aye, Connor was brilliant.
That
Man.
was a
That
brilliant
was-
night.
How the
Were
because
you there?
I think I did come to see it. Maybe no, I didn't come to see
No.
it. I couldn't.
But
I
you
was
were-
I was on Red Raw with Connor maybe like 2 weeks later, and he had a
Right.
bit about it because he'd just done the Sydney Opera House.
Sydney Opera House, and then his
Today-
next gig was the Girdy's in Wishy.
Today, 12 people in Gertie's lounge, but it was brilliant. But
I had a really good gig, and I enjoyed Girdy's.
so January, I don't think I gigged in January this year.
But you know, oh no, was that you just kind of started?
Aye, well I done a gig in November of 2021. No, 2022. It was Junkyard.
Aye.
December I done Gertie's, and then that was my only two gigs.
I was all there at the beginning of the year, see, because I was working up towards the solo show. I had my first solo show at the Glasgow International Comedy Festival last year, kind of thing. So I was gigging all over the place. I had about 4 or 5 gigs half a days. I think we were talking about that in the first podcast, kind of thing. I was done the Corby Inn. I went away to Tarbert to do a gig with him, kind of thing. I was the sauna that he place that he does and all. There was 4 or 5 different gigs back to back, kind of thing, in prep for that. Plus I was up to Aberdeen. I'd done Rock Hopper. I'd been at Dundee, I'm sure. I just was trying to gig like fuck, because I was trying, like, I had like 35 minutes, and so some places I was doing 10 minutes. So I would maybe do the intro, and some night I would maybe do like the music bit at another gig. I done Bungalow and Bungalagaff into it as Bungalow into it.
Bungalaff,
I
aye.
done that
doing
as
that.
well back that one at the beginning of the year last year. And I think that was why the first times I'd done my music stuff. I'd done Junkyard a couple of times, obviously, and all that.
Aye,
So I was the first half of last year I was heavy gigging. I was on an absolute kind of like every week I was gigging like a couple of times to try and get ready for that. And then that gig, I had a great time. But then like when it came round to doing it at the Gissy, I'm like, I could probably have just done the same 30 again, but I just couldn't be bothered. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't want to do that.
Off the gas a bit.
I took the foot off a gaffs a bit, kind of thing. I didn't do anything for the Fringe and stuff like that. 'Cause I said I was going down. I could see myself going down and down. And really, in June last year, I was off my work for a few weeks because I had just, I'd ran myself into the ground, and I was just, my mental health was bad. And then kind of started picking up by the end of the year. I think it was after that, like I'd got into talking to yous and stuff about doing stuff this year, kind
Because
of thing.
we'd done. What was that gig?
Yous went into the Fringe or something like that, was it? No.
Aye. But there was a gig where I was talking to you about it.
Was that not just your cherry tree? gig or
Benarotti?
something?
No.
Aye, Ringy Charlie's gig, aye.
Because we dropped Jack off
Aye,
and then we
and
were
gave
just
you a
sitting
run.
talking. Aye.
Aye,
but
that was during the Fringe. That was like at the tail end of it. It's like
Aye.
I used the opportunity to not go into Edinburgh at all, and if there was any gigs going to Glasgow, try to get on them.
I know. But I don't think I gigged in January. I was still trying to find my feet and figure out everything. And then in the February, I was get in touch with Paddy Linton, done Tenants for the first time,
Aye.
and fucking he's like, I'll get you on for a 7. And at this point I was doing 4.5 minute 5s, and I'm going right, and I think I need to be pure conscious of time and whatever. But obviously you get a bit of leeway at Tenants, and I just wrote stuff on the train the way in and everything, and I was like panicking because I was doing 7, but I done it and it went well, and I managed 6.5, really nearly closer to 7. And I got in touch with Paddy, Ian Pringle, Peter Bell, Sean Chalmers was on that one. That's when I first kind of met all them, and I just kind of kept going, doing Junkyard a couple of more times over the year, and just try to get out there as many as I can, figure out the industry really.
I've had a guy recently coming to me. He's just finished Vivs,
Of course.
and he came to me and says, "Look, have you got a space?" So I'm like, "I'm running Village Inn again in February." And I was saying to him, the best thing you can do is just go out and watch gigs. Like even
Aye.
if you're not on them, go out and meet people, because see when you're messaging somebody saying, "Oh, can I get a gig?" and you're like,
Aye,
"Who are
they
you?
were.
What's going on?"
Aye,
kind of
but
thing.
that's what
But if you're face to face with somebody,
because we've got the range and that, you can't just show that I'm there and kind
Aye.
of keep my
aye.
name at the forefront. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we can go to a few comedy festival ones.
Aye, definitely. During the
Aye.
comedy festival, I'm going to take a week off work or something and
Aye.
like, get right in about it. Probably the week.
I think there's quite a lot of good ones on the same day as us. See, like in Van
Aye.
Winkles, there's quite a lot on.
Aye.
Like, before
I've
us, I think,
seen
and
one,
then
who was
after
it?
us, there's quite good ones on.
I'll be shite myself too much to actually enjoy it. No, that's the thing, innit? See, if you take a week off, I'll take the same week off as you.
Aye, we should, just to get in. I'm definitely going to take the Friday, and then I'm off for Saturday, Sunday. The weekend we're doing it, and then I might just take the weekend after that, just to kind of give myself the fucking thingy.
Because there's loads of good, like Amanda Hersey's there as well, which will be really good to see. And
Aye, I might see Mick
Robin.
Max and Tasha.
is he doing one? Is he doing it
Is
with
he at
Sean?
Blackfriars? No, he's doing a solo one, I think.
Is he doing a solo? He's
But
he's
is
only
it
been
at
good about
Blackfriars?
3 years. It's
I know,
amazing, man.
but Robinson is
He's
brilliant.
brilliant, man.
I think he has doing one with Sean. Pierce Higgins is doing a couple, I know that. Pierce Higgins is doing like one with Sean and a couple, I can't even mind. But there is hunters, and there's hunters to go and watch, which you obviously should if you're interested.
Aye, we'll bring folk on here to
Aye,
kinda
we're definitely.
tout it and stuff.
That's the
There's
idea, isn't it?
bring in
For the next
guests
few
and
weeks, isn't it? To try and get some
loads of good folk out there, so
Just,
don't
advertise
just
their
come and
spots.
see us.
aye, we're just confirming people we know, aren't we?
Aye, so it'll be interesting to
But have
see.
you not got like a solo one coming up in Is it February?
Aye, see, I'm thinking about cancelling it.
Are you? Aye.
Aye,
Like you
because
doing the solo again?
aye, because it's one of the things. I'm not like to fucking shout into dinner and like that, but like you talk to folk and they say, "Oh, I want to come and see you." Well, I do Glasgow the time. It's like, that's no near enough. Because you know, day one kind of closer. So I booked one for Newton Hill,
Aye.
fucking couple of months ago, and I've sold 2 tickets.
Have you?
You know what I mean? It's like,
Aye. I know you kind of get that all the time, and I don't really blame folk because I'm more
I
different.
do.
I don't really, because I know life gets in the way and you forget. Because I've got mates who are in bands and all that, and I'm like, oh, I'll need to come see you, and they never really do. It's just one of the things.
And it's
But
one of
I-
them, like the comedy festival as well. A lot of tickets get sold week of,
Aye.
weekend of,
It's
day
definitely
of.
on the build up.
Aye.
What's on this week, sort of thing.
Aye.
What's the day this weekend? You're sitting on Tuesday, sitting in front of the telly. What day this weekend? That's when you kind of ramp up. But
Because like whenever I'd done my solo show last year, I had sold one ticket for the first 2 months of it kind of thing, and they didn't start really getting sold till like February. and then most of the tickets get sold on the week of the gig kind of thing. I think I had like, it's like 30 odd people in it. Like I had a couple of people come in on the door, which I was quite
nice,
surprised
aye.
about. So like I don't know how the heck that ended up happening, but obviously there's the brochure and all that sort of stuff. But just you would expect the people. I knew pretty much everybody that was in the room apart from maybe like 4 people. Well, there was the other act Ewan. He'd hang his pals that came and stuff like that. Didn't know them, but like there was a couple of there was a couple of randoms in there that I hadn't noticed. I was like, that's interesting. Maybe my TikTok video that I did to promote it worked. Made 2 sales. Yes.
Was that in the Vibe Room?
Aye, the good old Vibe Room, man.
The Vibe Room, man.
Me too. It was a great room. I played the Vibe Room in a band, but when it was Fury Murray's.
Oh,
back in
really?
the day, man. Aye, I think I can. It's a sad day, man. It's a great beach.
Ian McPherson's a great actor, no?
He's funny.
I've never seen him. I've seen his name all about the place, but I've never seen him.
You know,
Ian McPherson's brilliant.
done like 15 to 20 or something like that when my one last year.
Nice.
Kinda, he's
Aye.
funny,
He's
man.
done the cherry and all for me.
Was he?
Aye. He's actually like at this minute an award-winning
Filmmaking.
filmographer.
I
Aye,
saw
he's
that,
mad in his
aye.
films. Aye.
So
I've never seen. It's one of the names I've always seen, but I've never seen him
No, he's
perform.
brilliant. Ewan.
he also said at one point that he was doing a wee bit of acting on the side, and that, and he was like doing some stuff for
Oh, he's in everything.
Aye.
He's an extra.
as an extra,
Aye.
correct, but he was meant to be in season 2 of Good Omens, but he was a Russian. And obviously that was part of the thing get cut because of the war
no.
that was happening, or that's still happening kind of thing. So they kind of, obviously, they weren't going to go and sit and recut it or that. So just that section, whatever it was, never made the screen. He was like, no,
That's shit, man.
shite in it.
Aye, is it Silas as well? He's an actor. He's been in that Guilt as well. He was.
Oh, is he? Aye.
He played
Guilt.
he played a Russian kind of whiskey dealer or something. Aye, like a counterfeit whiskey
That's
dealer.
from the BBC, then that girl. I'll need to watch that, man. That's on the list.
I've bought the one episode that Silas is in it, and I've watched 2 minutes and turned it off. I don't watch the telly. I'm really. I just
know
watch
that.
films.
The only
You just
time I'm
watch-
watching live telly is a football.
Aye, that's what I'm like
darts.
too.
Aye, the darts, aye. I'll not check it well on pod. I'll be mean. Wanna look like that.
Aye. I know he could be £500,000 richer, and we don't even know.
He
Isn't that
could be the world champion, you know.
That's mental. Well, there's the new because this is getting released 2 weeks after it.
I will.
Like that's mental because I didn't know who this guy
Aye.
was. You were saying he could be 16-year-old, could have just won
16-year-old,
£500,000
loves a
on the darts.
kebab, met his girlfriend in FIFA Pro Clubs, and he's in the World Darts Championship final.
She's 21.
And she's 21, he's 16, but we'll not go into that. 'Cause I think we need to stay away from all that.
Aye, for
very
one
heavy.
episode,
Aye.
I'll probably avoid it.
That's mental though.
But it was just kind of, he won the World Youth Championships this year.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? And apparently he's been on the scene for 12-year-old. Like, folk have been like, aye, he's for the watching.
Aye,
And this is his debut in the tournament.
and he's made it
And
to the
he's-
final.
Just went on. He's lost 7 sets for the first round to the final, to the semi-final. 7 sets. That's nuts. Because you need 6 to win a frame. It's no frames, it's games.
Aye,
Fuck, what is that? It has games in it.
aye.
Games and sets.
Tell your beginning.
You get mixed up with snooker there, don't you?
Aye. That's I just get fuddled. But anyway, so he's winning like 6-1, 6-0, like near enough every round, and he beat Van Barneveld in 3rd round or 4th round. So he's beating big names. He's not just playing some daddies, and he's lost 7 sets a full tournament. And I've watched his 2nd round match, 3rd round match, and I'm like, this guy's fucking shit hot.
Right, Hank, try and put yourself back though. I know it's only about 2 minutes for you. Right, you're 16. You've just won £500,000. What are you doing with that, man?
I wouldn't make it to 23. I wouldn't have.
I don't think I would have either. I think I would have went half my nut.
Aye, I would have been right half a reels. Mere half a reels.
But
When I
hey,
was 16, just deep, wasn't it? I think so. I think I'd be alright.
It's funny you say that, right? Because I remember a few years ago, it was because you're thinking young folk winning that amount of money. What the heck? Blah blah blah. There was a wee guy. He was like, I think he was from London, and he won like some Fortnite tournament, and he won like a share of £1.5 million or something like that. So it was like, I think it was duos. It was him and his mate, and they won like. And they were like, what are you going to do with it? He's like, and he was, because they were asking his ma, because I think he was only like 14. They were like, oh, he can get whatever delivery he wants. You know what I mean? So you're like, oh, well, that's a wee guy's set for life. It's just be a streamer, obviously. That's
I'd
what you would just
probably
continue
still
doing it. But if you're in the darts, you usually play darts in the pub. Don't you? Like,
Well, that's what this looked like was
so
asked.
how's he get good at darts when he's never been to the pub? Or, like,
There's a video of him when he was 18 months, and he's standing maybe away.
playing dart, hitting
See the
triple 20.
Velcro dartboard?
Oh, aye, I had one.
And he's standing about that away from the board right enough. But you're going like that, and it's hitting near the top. full time. 18 months.
That's
It's
nuts,
mental.
man. That sounds like something you would see like photoshopped at the beginning of like a Will Ferrell film about a darts player, isn't it? Like,
But
Aye.
see, I don't know if you've seen a few years ago, it was like Project Mbappe, and it was all these guys trying to get their Waynes to be a football player.
Oh,
and they'd
right.
like full rigouts and the Waynes, and were like taking training session with the
Aye,
Waynes.
cones and all that,
And somebody's like that. Project Littler sounds a fucking hell of a lot easier sitting in the pub all day letting your son throw darts at a wall. But
Oh,
I
good on him.
genuinely went on Amazon last night. I was looking at all the dartboards, the magnetic ones and the Velcro ones, and I'm getting the Waynes. I'm like, fuck the Waynes, I'm getting one.
But my pal had the dartboard in his garage, and we were all trying to hit the bullseye because we thought that was the best score you could get because you're a wee guy. And everybody left, and I stood myself, and I chucked one dart, and I hit the bullseye. I'm like,
Nobody's
convenient.
believing you.
I know,
Convenient.
Nobody's believing you.
nobody believed me at all. I did happen. Straight on it. I'm like,
Like, that's kind
fuck
of interesting you say about that. Have you ever heard? Like, I'm sure it's Mark or Martin Marinovich. You heard of him? He was like, why? He was a NHL or NFL coach. Like he coached his son. He had like this training regime. Like trained his son into the grun kind of thing to be like the best. I think his son ended up going off the rails, but then he trained his. I think he be MMA. Like he trained BJ Penn for like 2 fights,
no way.
and it was the 2 fights that BJ Penn could have killed anybody in the world kind of thing, and it was mental to see like this guy basically like that's the kind of just about that kind.
But if and I lost touch with it if I was about 13, I was about 15, 16. And then I cancelled my season ticket, now I'm raging.
that
But
happened
I'm
with
a
me.
fuck buying for my season ticket.
That happened to me with golf. Like my
Aye.
dad's a brilliant golfer and stuff, and he'd golfed all his life, so he got us into it. And I've got no patience for it.
Aye.
Like my brothers knew back into playing golf, but when I done it, like my dad was, he wanted us to be good at it, so he was fucking pretty.
We were talking about that thing with me the other week there with the pool table and all that. Like, it was a foldy uppy. You know what I mean? It was a cheap one. Like,
Had a table tennis on the other side.
I wish. Hey, that's one thing that, by the way, that's something that I'm actually strangely good at is table tennis. I hate normal tennis. I couldn't watch the tennis in
I
the
used to
telly,
love normal tennis.
but all that. But I can play both hands, right? And it's because I'm an only kid. So I had a swing bat set.
Oh,
Right,
aye.
so I could hit the ball and then hit the ball like that. So see when I'm playing table tennis, folk will hit me a
That's-
shot.
that's
There'll be
a-
a backhand that they can't reach, and I can do that. And sometimes, like, because obviously at the youth club working, like with a work and stuff like that, I'd be playing folk at table tennis, and I just naturally just do that. And I don't even like I've won points where I've held the bat with the tap of it and can still click it, right? Because I've got that kind of. It's weird. I've got an ambidextrousness for playing. Like,
Do you just go to your
badminton
work and
stuff
scam
like that.
wins?
Aye.
You got to teach them.
Also,
You got to teach them how to
Getting
lose
that only
respectfully.
child a swing ball set's a bit of a sick joke.
I
innit?
know.
Aye, I've used to play it with my dad like, at the back day, but obviously my dad worked, so like I'm at the back and you like I stayed in the main street kind of thing, so nobody was allowed to cross the main road. I had like a lonely childhood, right? I had cousins and stuff like that, but I was the oldest one, so they were always younger. You know what I mean? But like, aye, a
Just
swing
at the
back
back of your
set.
swing
That's why,
ball.
like, that's why I quite like comedy and all that, and that's why I like. I felt like I was in some dodgy cinema, man.
Starting a
Just
support
all
group.
sitting at wee different kind of
Aye.
bit thingy. You know what I mean? Like,
Four he's come out
But
with
there's only certain
bandanas saying,
films you can go and see yourself. Like, 'cause if you walk into pictures and you're like, one ticket for the Paw Patrol movie, you get dirty lips.
One ticket for Saltburn. Aye, we know what you're up to. You fucking depraved bastard.
I know.
This needs to go second to Saltburn one day.
I
I
know,
know
but
it
maybe
does. It's near enough
Aye.
July by the time this
Aye, no, that's mental, isn't it? How
Aye.
did we go into this? Like, we're
I
just
don't know.
gonna go on a wee
Aye,
tangent,
I
didn't
know.
we?
It's fine, but that's what it's all
Aye.
Was
about.
2023 a good year for you?
Just hoppings and downs.
Aye. I had 3 jobs in 2023.
Did you? Aye.
Sandwich.
Mental.
Is that what did you?
I've had about 14 in my life. I'm only 23. I had 4. 3.
I'm good at my job.
Aye, but I had 2 jobs at one time sometimes.
I had 2 jobs. Once I worked in Asda, and then I was a carer.
All right.
Folk,
But for taxman watching, I've only ever worked 2 jobs this year.
But aye, 3 jobs, 2 calls, 3 call centres. Aye,
Aye.
but it's I before that I had 1 job. I went from Asda to a call centre, then another call centre, another call centre. 3 jobs this year. No, I mean I'm saying call centre, but it's good. Like,
Aye.
Aye.
it's just round the road for me, and it works better for the wins and stuff like
That's
that.
great, man.
Aye, I plays the game.
So I don't know. I mean, 2023 was.
I thought they'd come back out of the union.
I know.
Or something, man.
Oh my god.
Aye.
That's a fucking winner.
They started on sertraline and then they were citalopram. Citalopram!
Aye, because sertraline's the one I was offered.
Aye. That doesn't touch a side with me.
Aye.
I
I
think you're
knocked it
right,
back
I do.
anyway. I told them I didn't want tablets.
Aye, I didn't take tablets when I had my badge.
Well, that's how I knocked back ADHD medication.
Aye.
Too. I think it'd make me born.
I think you should take. I'd come after them before and it just completely fucked me up, so I went back on them and I'm
That was one of
even
the things
keel.
I'd heard about that, man. It was like you think you can be all right, you come after them, and then that's at your worst point because you're no ready yet to come after them, and then you've got no dopamine for that, and you've got no dopamine for yourself. And
well, I come after them and I was fine for a couple of years, right? And then just it always seems to happen when I have wains. Like when I had my first wane, it was just completely because my head's on.
Job and Spoons. And this was back in, it was at September or October. And I broke down greeting. I'm like, but about the Menzies Christmas, do you know what I mean? That's the only thing I was worried about.
Aye.
you got to provide for them, ain't you?
Aye. But I had a job 2 hours later, it was out.
Aye.
But it's mentally taxing in that sort of way, though,
Aye.
isn't it? You're like,
But I've had a few conversations with like her like, about, she's always it's just kind of one of the things where I think as a father you're like, I don't know. I struggle being a father. I don't really know if I'm doing right or wrong.
I
I think we all do. I think we all
Bearing
do.
in mind, my brains are still young and I'm still trying to figure out as I go. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
like, I don't know.
I've had to make major changes. Like, I probably wasn't in the best place to become a dad. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
And
I think
with
even
the
if
drinking,
you,
the drugs and everything like that, I was a fucking riot.
I think even if you thought you were together and ready, you still wouldn't be ready.
No.
No.
It would still put you through the ringer. You're still only ready for the
I
nights.
don't think I'll be ready until the youngest is 18.
Aye.
No, you won't even be ready then. I mean, it's just, you just fucking go in with it. Because when you're growing up, you think your mum does superheroes and they can do
Aye.
everything, and then you realise they were just winging it and all.
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
And that's when you look at every walk of life, like you're like, oh, the guy that's running the country, they're just winging it. Everybody is literally
right winging it.
He's got a fucking clue, but they're doing, especially politicians.
But everybody is winging it at every step in life. I mean, it's mental. Anybody that's got any sort of thingy of power, they don't know how they've managed to get there. Imposter syndrome is rife, man.
Aye.
Like, I've had that one. I take it used.
100%, man.
Do you know what I mean? I didn't need to let my mum know on my way. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, no, I'm a fucking feather now. It's that sort of weird shit doesn't always click for me.
It is mental. It's all just.
I mean, if it wasn't for Gail, like, see, I said to Gail, like, in my first bout of needing citalopram, I says, oh, I want to go out and I want to do kind of comedy and stuff like that. When I come in and she says, oh, I'm being in here with the Waynes, I'm like, oh, do you have a lot of DVDs to put on or something? And we've came to a point where the two years laughing at it because it's fucking absurd. Like, it's like the Bill Burr thing where it's like
the Wayne's mod has never sense of humour. I couldn't get away with that.
Gail has got a sense of humour.
I can
Which
tell
helps.
Aye.
She kind of needs to.
But it's that sort of thing. You need to take whenever you're doing the gigs and that, like. Sometimes it's just random folk will just get in touch with you. They're like, oh, can you do this one? You go, it's a Friday, I'm no working that Friday. Aye, I can do that. You get anything on? No, you're not right. I'll take it. And then you're like, oh, fuck. There's 4 of them in the same week. And you're like, no. I've had that a couple of times back earlier. And you're like, right, I need to get better at fucking sorting that out. Because obviously it's great at the time you're doing it, but then you've got Wayne's. You get a full-time job. You're like, oh, man.
Like and I'm trying to put him in his high chair and he's wriggling and he's jumping. Like the other day, I put him in his high chair, put his dinner down to him, without the kitchen to get the oldest his dinner. Come back through it and he's climbed out the high chair and he's hanging off the high chair. And I'm like, what the fuck? He's undone the buttons, climbed out or the hanging off it and he's laughing. And I'm going, what the fuck? Yeah, that's hard work. And I do feel...
You can't leave him for a minute, innit?
No.
And I do feel for her, but another one, I'm like, I'm still out shoveling for 50 hours a week and I'm trying to travel at these gigs and everything. We need to come and go. And I did kind of dial back the gigs to try and help her out me, and it is hard finding that balance, do you know what I mean? It is, because both of you feel under pressure and it's not nice.
I mean, that's what it means, Steve. That's what Steve was saying. Like, it's a team, even though you're out doing it yourself, you can't just go, right, I'm away for 6 nights a week to go and do comedy kind of thing. So there's a lot of folk out there that say, oh, you need to be out, you need to be doing gigs and stuff like that. But when it comes to a situation,
you look at other comics and like, they've not got any responsibilities and they've not got
and fair fucks to them.
Aye.
Going away and do it.
Where we can't just, like, as I say, go to a gig we're not on a Tuesday just randomly.
Can I meet folks? That was.
So it hinders us a bit, but
It gives you some good fucking material, man.
aye.
You just got to be
Exactly.
smart about your time and all that. And
Aye.
that's where I feel sometimes I go like, I've got material there. I'm not trying to hang here that. I've got hundreds of material that I know that works now, right? Because I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years coming up and this year kind of thing, right? So I'm like, but I don't usually bring it all out because I've done it or that. You know what I mean? I've done like, I want to be keeping on writing. I don't want to no write. I want to always be trying to do newer stuff. I've got a couple of stories now that I quite like to pepper in my set, but I want to be trying other jokes when about it. So like that's where you need to use your time, I think, in our set to be as efficient as possible.
Aye.
You know what I mean? You're not just doing the same 10 to refine it and be perfect at it. I feel like I've not got a perfect 10 at the minute because I'm always trying to be
Try to change
building
it
something up.
See,
You know what I
that's
mean?
where I've kind of just had a polished 15 for the past 6 months or so.
That's where I feel
Where
I
I could
drop
do
behind.
any 5 or any 10, but
Aye.
yeah.
But that's where I feel
And
like
I've not been writing, so like, I kind of feel as if
I
I've
think
stagnated.
that's probably the right way to do it, though. I think to
Aye.
get that refined 10 or that refined 15 is what you want to be doing. Whereas, like,
But I also feel as if I've stagnated and I've got to the point where I want to write, but I've just never get the time because
Aye.
I'm constantly doing this and doing that, and you need to find time for yourself and all that.
Aye. I'm always wanting to be right. And I think it comes for, again, that way I've been... See, when I done the pandemic stuff kind of thing, I was always trying to write something. Whenever I was doing Junkyard nearly every week, I was always trying to do something new. And like, it was too much, right? I know that, and you're never refining that. It's what taking it and making sure you keep the best bits and all that, and try to, like, a couple of words here or there sometimes is all you need. But
Do you know what's horrific is when you go out and watch somebody doing a gig and they say, "Oh, mind the pandemic,"
aye.
and they start doing the pandemic material.
No.
I think there
It's-
should
it's
be a
done, it's-
veto on any COVID fucking jokes now,
Aye.
man.
Aye.
It's been ripped a whole lot.
Folk
Don't
all-
get me wrong, there's a few great ones out there, but there's a few howlers that don't make sense.
Aye.
3 years later.
Aye. Folk always say, "Oh, you shouldn't make like Madeleine McCann jokes or fucking done and 9/11 jokes." But I mean,
COVID jokes are worse.
9/11 jokes. I'm not making jokes about 9/11. I just love it.
Favourite history.
Fucking hell,
Your
Al.
favourite point in history.
Favorite moment in history, I'd probably say. So I'm not here to slag 9/11. I'm here in support of 9/11.
Fucking hell!
I don't know where you're even going with that.
I don't actually know what side you stand on now.
Are you
I'm
pro
here in
Osama at this point?
Right,
Is this-
Trips, that's been 2.5 days. That's been an hour.
Aye.
So thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Aye.
Aye.
Should do.
Cheerio.
Cheerio, bye.
Bye.